Welcome to Expansionscapes. And in this video, my friends and I, Ryan and Rosa, are going to, yes, this is Ryan and Rosa, are going to share with you our perception of the Norse Elder Futhark rune Uruz. And we're doing this as a part of a project which we called the Shamanic Cycle of Initiation, where we decided to connect to each rune of the Elder Futhark in order and share what we get and what, if any, personal transformation we notice during that time in our lives. If you want to know more about this project, you can check it out in the description box below. And if you want to check out our video on the first rune, Feihu, you can find this video in the same playlist of this YouTube channel. So the cool thing about these meetings and videos is that, as I understand, Ryan and Rosa, you guys didn't read anything about this rune. You just like jumped in, and we didn't meet before this moment, and we didn't discuss anything about our experiences. So this is like live, and this is like we have no idea what each of us got. So that is the very interesting thing. Even though we connect to the same energy, we are different people and we perceive in different ways. And the way we connected to these runes are, you can call it a psychic connection or third eye perception. So let's just jump in, I guess. And do you guys want to mix it up a bit? Last time Ryan went first. Rosa, do you want to go first this time?
Sure, I'm good with that.
Okay, cool. But am I right? You didn't read anything about it?
Nope, nada.
Okay, great. All right.
This time I actually did read like a brief description on it.
Okay, that works too.
Okay.
I read some also. Yeah.
You read a little bit more than a paragraph.
Yeah.
I read about a paragraph.
Okay, it's kind of wet out here. Bear with me. My paper, I don't want it to get wet. Hang on. Sort myself out. Okay, well, my process is pretty much the same as last time. I made sure I was grounded, had sacred space. I worked with my team, myself, Divine. I worked with Odin. I worked with the Rune. I asked all of them to help clear any blocks I may have to connecting with them, having a clear communication with them, to accepting the knowledge of the Rune and to fully integrating it into my system. So I asked for blessings in that, and I asked for them to clear any blocks in that. That was kind of like my process, how I looked at it, how I started. I always would call on Odin first, and I would just let him know my intentions, let him know that I'm doing the Shamanic Cycle of Initiations, and that I would like to learn through him the wisdom of the second rune. So let's see. First time Odin came to me, I saw owls. No, sorry, not owls, crows. And another time I saw wolves. So I thought that was cool because I had the wolves last time too. So this time I got crows too. I felt the energy of the rune had a very strong earth energy. It was a very fast moving, active energy. It was an energy of action, an energy of motion. It had a lot of running energy to it. There was a lot of running that I felt. Let's see. I saw like strong waves in the ocean, strong winds in the storm, earthquake, the earth shaking. I saw Odin running with his spear, fierce and strong. I heard strength in numbers. I felt like strength could be also internal as well as external, like a physical strength, but it also could be like an internal strength. I saw lots of animal creatures. I felt lots of different animal creatures like hogs with big teeth, alligators with big sharp teeth. Even the rune itself kind of grew into this big huge cave with sharp teeth. So it was like fierce, you know, there was like something to it that was like fierce and was like, you don't play no games. I also felt like it had courage. There was like a lot of courage energy to it. And I felt this courage could come in the face of fear. The courage that you get when you face fear and you have to face it at that moment. Let's see. Hang on. Turn the page. I asked, how does the energy manifest in our current life, in our current reality? And I saw Olympians, strong Olympians. I saw strong muscle men exercising. I saw acrobats doing flips. You know, it was very active energy. I asked, how does the energy of the rune, the second rune, which I'm calling Uruz, but I don't know how to say it. U-R-I-Z. U-R-U-Z. I don't know. How do you say it, guys?
I guess Uruz, but
Uruz, okay.
I'm sure this is not the correct way, I think, because it's not English.
I
So
Uruz, but I don't know how it's actually supposed to be said.
Okay. We're all on the same page with that. Okay. Okay, let's see. I felt like I had some blocks actually in receiving the wisdom. So I had to work on that a bit, like as I was receiving it, because I felt like when I kept asking, how does it manifest in my life, the information I was getting was not really very clear to me. So I had to work on that a bit. I felt like persistence was part of it in my life. I felt like there was this strength, this inner strength, and this persistences and continuing towards a healing journey. I asked what I could do because I felt like there was just a little bit of block there. I asked what could I do to have the wisdom, what could I do to help to have the wisdom in my life in a more balanced way, in a healthy way. And I saw me eating healthy, I saw me exercising more, I saw like, you know, the inner strength as well. And I just felt like since then, when you talk about change, do you feel any change in your life? I feel like I'm doing that more now. I mean, what the heck? Sorry. I thought a bug was walking on me. Pardon me, I'm back. Yeah, so the energy, I felt like it has been changing because not that I was like doing anything crazy before, but I feel like I'm doing it more now, you know? So I feel like that change, that shift, you know, I feel me eating more healthy. I feel me doing more things, more active things. When I asked Odin, you know, for clarification, what they are trying to show me when I asked what could I do to help to have the energy in a more balanced way in my life, I saw a big bear, a big, fierce, strong brown bear, and it was running towards me. It's like rah, big teeth, and it was huge, and it actually felt like it was part like someone on my team, but I also noticed that the bum of the bear was injured, and it was actually kind of dragging its butt. But when you first see a big ass bear running at you with his teeth, you don't see its butt. You just see a big teeth, you know. But when you look at it and you revisit it and you really look at it, you see that it was dragging and it wasn't running as it could because it had this injury. But it was still pressing on and it still was fierce and it still was running. And I felt like that's what I was being shown, that like no matter what is holding you back, no matter what is an obstacle or a challenge that you're facing, keep running. You're still fierce and you still could be strong. You still could be courageous, all of that. So overall, I felt like the energy was very strong. It had a very fast moving way to it. It was running. It was courageous. It was fierce. It was courage in the face of fear and adversity and challenges. It was strength in a very physical way, a very physical strength, a very physical healthiness, and also an internal one as well. What else? What else? I think that's the main things I got, guys. I think that's it. Because every time I went in, I kept seeing a lot of the same things: strength, courage, running. So yeah, that's what I got.
Thanks, Rosa. I don't
You're
know
welcome.
and thanks for making all the records and remembering what you saw. I just felt like what you were saying, because earlier, before, I connected to Mars energy and it felt like a bit like Mars energy. I wonder if there's any connection between that. Anyway, Ryan, do you want to go next?
Sure. So with this one, I'll have to access my notes in 1 second. But with Uruz, kind of before I read anything on it, I just kept saying lightning. It's that was kind of all I was getting. So I read a little bit on it and did some grounding work and some blessings to kind of try to clear away preconceived notions and all that sort of stuff. So let me access my notes so I sound a little smarter. But with Uruz, I kind of got sort of I guess primal force, primal power, like lightning and earthquakes, that kind of thing. And I was really mainly getting strength. It's kind of going to overlap a little bit with Rosa and survival of the fittest. And I got in a particular warrior way, kind of like the power to destroy enemies or be the strongest, but also the inner strength to kind of overcome anything. And it kind of made sense why that was there. It's if you're kind of the strongest internally and on the outside and have endurance and all that, the risk of death is a lot less, and there's a lot more feeling of safe and security, but also inner courage and overcoming fears and all that, and kind of a feeling of invincibility. It sort of reminded me of when I did boxing. It's like this isn't the spiritually acceptable answer, but kind of really cracking someone with a good shot and beating them. It felt good. There's a feeling to it, which kind of meditating on the Uruz symbol brought up. But kind of interestingly, the symbol, to me, it kind of, it symbolized a few things where it kind of let me get back. It kind of seemed like it looked a little like a mountain, a little like a door or a cave, and so it's kind of, the door seemed like a inner door to inner strength, and then the mountain being immovable, kind of undefeatable and emotionally and physically, and and the cave kind of being the wisdom to have that. So that was mainly what I got with it, was kind of a primal power and a feeling of invincibility. It all seemed very, very warrior kind of related to me. So that's what I got.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. I want to, I'm gonna repeat myself again. It sounds like Mars energy of what I know about it. It's like, it's just, I don't know, it's too many coincidences.
I think Mars, like, well, the Greeks, wasn't Mars Ares who was the god of war and all that?
Yeah.
So yeah, it I do think it has the same sort of sort of energy,
Mhm.
kind of like a bridled destructive force in a way.
Yeah, I didn't feel like Mars energy only destructive, but like that when Rosa said the bear is injured, but it's just going for it anyway. There's no quitting, and like
Right.
that there's the mountain. It's just like huge momentum of energy. It's like whoa, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, kind of like courage being, you know, you're always going to have fear, but just overcoming it anyway and facing it anyway. Anyhow, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, there was a lot of overlap. That was cool.
So
You got a lot too.
yeah.
I actually did. I did this
Yeah.
like right before the recording, but I got very last minute, but I got a lot, so that was cool.
It is.
And I wasn't getting anything till like today, which is weird. So
Oh, makes sense. I don't know.
That's funny.
I got too hard with all today, so that's part of it.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess should I go now? It's not really all the same, but I'll tell you later. It's like something weird. It's kind of I noticed something, but so for me, like first I saw Odin, and he's like a mushroom picker or a hermit in a hooded kind of cloak, sitting in a forest. He's like really old, and he has a beard. Old kind of rustic beard, and the beard starts to go and go like this. It's a long beard, and it just stands up and it goes somewhere, and it's like trying to, it seems like it's a kind of antenna, and it's trying to connect to something somewhere, like catch a signal. And then it's like moving around feeling for it, and then like little electricity um, sparks start to go off in the beard, and then once it connects, there's like a huge kind of explosion, and it turns into a ball of light, and then the ball of light turns into a spear of light, and Odin grabs the spear and throws it in the direction of where he got this the signal was received by his beard. And like as he throws the spear, I happen to fly with the spear to that place, and it's like, oh, it's like that's how the connection was made. It's it's not the first time I get like antenna vibes from hair. It's, I don't know why it keeps repeating to me, like hair is antenna, hair is antenna. Okay, it's for communication. Anyway, so the first thing I saw was veins of a leaf, and then the veins of a leaf were kind of showing me the path. Like they were darkening, they were saying, look, the veins grow this way, and the branches of a tree, and it was kind of telling me, look, um, this leaf is from a particular tree. So it's like it decided to be, let's say, a maple leaf, and if you're gonna decide to incarnate as a maple leaf, you do have some freedom of expression, but you need to follow some pattern. You can't be an oak leaf on a maple tree. You can't grow like that. You have to grow like this, but yet you still have some freedom of expression, and you chose to be this, so you got to kind of follow a guideline, kind of like a tree. Every tree is unique, every leaf is unique, but you can't go like too crazy. You can't become a bird when you're a tree, or you can't, can't become a pine tree suddenly because you want to. And the same pattern was kind of like in a lot of fish. They were all moving, like hundreds of fish, and they were just swimming in the same exact way. So it's like there is freedom of expression, but there is some natural force that keeps you to some guidelines. And also I saw birds flying in formation. So it's not like they're robots and they have to follow this, but it's like, well, if you chose to be a bird, you chose to experience life like this. So you can't like suddenly go and be completely different. Then I saw a single dandelion seed flying through the air, and I knew where exactly it was going to land. And then the message was that, look, such a tiny seed, it has all the information to create a new, a completely new plant just from this tiny little thing, which makes me think of DNA. Then I saw like a water pipe, which was like a sewage water pipe, which I really didn't want to see, but it just showed it to me anyway. So I saw like some water from somewhere, it went into the pipe. And then when it was in the pipe, it had to go following the pipe. It's kind of lost its freedom, but it chose to go to that pipe somehow. There was this some kind of decision. And when the water goes out of the pipe, it went like pouring out. Then it went joined some like river or something, and it just started to go. It just started to become free, and that made me think of reincarnation. It's like when you incarnate, you're gonna choose what you want to experience to some degree. You have freedom, but to some degree you chose to be somebody. You chose where you're gonna live, what you're gonna learn, and that is like a choice. And then once you're out of it, you're out of it. You're free again. It's like yeah. And then I saw like I don't know. I traveled like up a tongue from water and up a tongue, and it looked like a children's amusement park or a children's attraction, and it looked like a haunted house. And I was just taken everywhere by a little boat going in the canal, and then the whole building was full of cool stuff happening. Like there was a crazy neon spiral or something. Like all kinds of attractions were all around, but I was going in a boat only that way. So sometimes I wanted to stop and go into something else I saw, like I saw a cool spiral. And I'm like, hey, I want to go there and experience it. And it's like, nope, nope, you're going there because that's your path, like this. And I felt like, I'm sure there are exceptions to this, but generally, let's say, like if you chose to be a doctor in this lifetime, you can't at the same time be like a professional musician, a professional mountain climber, a professional scuba diver, although I'm sure many doctors are doing all this stuff too, but you can't kind of be everything. You know, a ballet dancer, you can't choose everything. Or like, and there's also an element of kind of a bit of like jealousy or a bit of like comparing to other lives, other people you see, but this is your path because you initially wanted it, and you're going this way. You're not gonna suddenly become a ballet dancer. You know, you're gonna be a doctor. And similar thing, I saw a small child, almost like a baby, held by a man, and that was in a village. And in that village, everybody was doing something really bad. They were like really angry, and they were actually physically punishing some people. And they were angry at those people because they didn't believe in the same things as the villagers did. They were kind of they were nonconformists, and they were also foreigners. They were outsiders. So these people were kind of teaching the child. The man was actually holding a child to teach the child that, look, this is who we are, this is what we do. And they were teaching the child like, look, our community is number one, our culture is number one, all outsiders are wrong and they deserve to be punished. If they're not like us, we are better than them. And when the child looked at me, he was sending like sorry, he was sending me a message like, I know this is wrong. I know this is wrong. And then suddenly he went into a black tunnel and chose to forget everything and chose to go to the other side of forgetfulness. So he just kind of it's like he went deep into his incarnation because that was his plan originally, to be born in this village, to be born in this society, to be born with these people, and to get all their beliefs, even if they're really wrong beliefs. But he decided that I'm going to be born there, and I'm just gonna believe, I'm just gonna learn all that stuff, all those distortions, all those false beliefs, all those things, so that later I am going to learn my lessons. Like, this is my karma, like this is what I am here to do. So like, it's like, this is my shadow work. I'm getting my shadows so that later I can work on them. And then I felt like, oh right, our shadows, we actually plan to receive them when we're born. And if he didn't forget, he didn't go into that darkness, he wouldn't have been able to learn those false beliefs, because he would remember that no, that's wrong. But it's like a decision, a commitment for that thing. And I saw Odin fishing, and he was fishing like from a small boat, and like a moon shape, and then the boat turned into a moon, and he was just standing on a moon and trying to pull out fishing net, and the fishing net was empty, and it had like a bunch of other stuff that he didn't want, and he just kept fishing. He didn't take that other stuff. He kept to it, and it was like, I want a particular fish. I don't want like all that other stuff that comes in my net. I'm looking for a particular fish. I'm not gonna settle for something else. I guess maybe it's like Rosa is like not quitting a bit. Like, no, I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna go for this no matter what. And Rosa also got like power in numbers. And I got like a stage. One speaker was speaking, and there were like many hands of people, and they were all reaching towards that speaker, as in like, yay, like a crowd who follows one speaker, almost like a superstar or something. So they were all focused on one, and there was like numbers, like huge crowd, and they were all following this one leader. And I thought like it didn't connect to anything, but I guess it did. All right, so actually it sounds like we got completely different things at first. And I just got to read the notes that I read from somewhere else, what Uruz means from a book, which the name of it, I'm gonna write it down later in the description box because I forgot it, the name of it. So, so it says here, Uruz, it's like, it means the urox, the animal that died out, the primal forming force, which you guys actually kind of, okay, wait, the primal forming force, or drizzle, the primal fertilizing essence, archetypal patterning, organic organization, wisdom, health, vital strength. I feel like we got like parts of the puzzle pieces. Like Rosa got a lot of strength, vital strength. And Ryan, you too. It's like called power. And you were using the words primal too. I remember. And me, I didn't really get what you got, but I got the other part of this description, which is the primal forming force, like the DNA, the leaves, and the tree branches, and the dandelion seed going to create a new plant, like the DNA, and the primal fertilizing essence, or drizzle. I'm not sure what about drizzle, but and how do you say this word? Archetypal patterning.
Yep.
Patterns. It was
Oh,
all
good.
about patterns. Like, you chose this, so go and this is the pattern you follow in this life. Like, this is, I don't know, I felt like it is. What do you guys think?
It's weird because I left out some stuff that wasn't really like all coming, that wasn't as consistent as the other stuff. Now it makes more sense.
Yeah. Cool.
So, but I did read also that rune means running. I read that a few times. Running, active, strength, like a lot of the stuff that Ryan and I talked about. I read that after the fact. I read that it had that in definition because I just want to make sure I'm on the right track. You know, I'm like, who am I even connecting with? Because it kept running from me, and I'm like, are you running away from me because you don't want to teach me the wisdom? Like I wasn't sure at first because it kept happening, it kept running and running and running. But yeah, so I did read that. It was in there.
That could also be endurance and persistence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because when I asked how does it manifest in my life, I saw me running around in a circle, and I'm like, what is this story? I didn't understand that. And I also saw like the energy of the rune as a deer that died into the earth, and some natives took the horns and they mashed that up into some sort of powder, and it was like a medicine, and they ate it. And then they digested that, and that went back to the earth. And then the deer went back to the earth, and it was like this cycle of everything just went back to the earth anyway. It comes out of the earth, but it goes back to the earth. So that was kind of similar to what Olga was saying. And I didn't understand that one. I kind of left it out because I was like, I'm not really sure what you were trying to tell me there.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. I wasn't getting Olga's stuff at all, although that's kind of cool. The patterns and the archetypal stuff, and us coming to learn life lessons and go from there and kind of clearing that karma as well. But it's interesting.
Yeah. It definitely had a very like active energy, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
I'm
I
happy.
can't hear you all the other. Oh, there you are.
Oh, I'm happy I finally saw the spear because before I didn't. But 'cause
Yeah,
you
that's
guys
right.
did, but
Yeah, we had that in common. I saw it again this time too, and he was throwing it just like you said.
yeah. And well, Ryan saw lightning. I don't know if that's, but you know, if I don't know if you guys want to share any personal kind of experience or personal transformation or in your life while you were connecting to this rune. Like I remember when we did Feiho, we started to see this energy a lot all around us, like, oh, you know, I can actually see this energy, and it really worked a lot for me, with my father dying and the earthquake and a lot of terrible things happening to me, like destruction and rebirth. And now with Uruz, I felt like Rosa, actually, maybe the reason she got that part of the meaning of Uruz is because she said she immediately connected it to her life, where you said that, oh, I'm getting healthy now, and like health is one of the things that Uruz is about from this book I'm gonna write about. Like you immediately connected to your life. Do you guys want to share if you feel it, if you saw it anywhere in your life while you were connecting to the room?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of mentioned already how it, you know, I asked the rune, I asked the soul of the rune to show me how could I help connect with it better, and I saw myself eating healthy, being more physically active, things like that, and I feel like I've been doing that, and like not because I asked the rune that, because it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's a change, it's just my body's asking for healthier things. My body's asking to move around more, you know, it's just like naturally happening. So yeah, you know, I kind of mentioned it a little bit before, but I noticed a difference, definitely. And with the first rune too, you know, I'm more aware, like, you know, the lessons of that one, I feel like it's more present and available in my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same for me. Um, I also saw like Uruz energy. I guess the reason I kept seeing that part of the meaning of Uruz, the patterning, the primal like fertilizing essence, I guess, is because, and like focusing, making a decision, because right now in my life I'm very scattered and I have a lot of projects that I want to do. I want to do all of them equally. And I can't, I feel like I'm paralyzed because if I'm thinking, if I'm going to go do this, I will miss out on everything else. And then I'm like, well, no, I'll do this then. And then I'm like, if I do this, I will miss out all of that. And I'm just almost like paralyzed because I can't make a choice. So I feel like, but it's also not because I meditated on Uruz, but it has been naturally happening in my life that I have been too scattered and almost paralyzed because I don't want to make a decision. Or I know I have to, but I'm like, but I want everything. So, but it's like I can't be a doctor and a violin player and a ballet dancer and a mountain climber. I have to choose one, but I want everything. So I feel like I really saw this energy in my life. Ryan, did you see any of this energy in your life, or did you
It's
know?
almost the exact same thing for me. But yeah, there's only time to be good at a few things. But no, the decision making, that's been showing up a lot. You know, the indecisiveness is really getting in my way of most everything. And I've worked on it. I'm getting a lot better, but yeah, the importance of making a decision, even if it's wrong, which is more what it's about for me, is has been showing itself a lot. That and the symbol itself, you know, there's it helped kind of a lot of the visual stuff I get. There's always been a door, and like a crystal cave that I just like, but those particular things come up a lot, but also kind of some preconceived notions where it's like I've gone through you know, trauma and things like that. I don't want to hurt anyone, etc. But it reminded me, I guess, to accept that part, because then I remembered the boxing and all that. I like the feeling of fighting someone one on one. It was a exciting thing where you're locked in and you're using your senses because you don't want to get your ass kicked, and all that. So, and yeah, it feels good to knock a guy down. I don't know how to say that in a good way.
Okay.
So,
We appeal to all our male viewers.
because you know what doesn't feel good? Getting your ass kicked. So,
That's true.
but yeah, it reminded me of the importance of that, and just mainly decision making. That's really been coming up a lot.
Mm-hmm. And while you were talking, I remembered like that we all going through shadow work right now, and sometimes I think there's a feeling of like unfairness, like, oh, why did I get all this terrible stuff in me, you know, that now I have to work with. But in this energy, I saw that we chose it, and we chose to learn these things that we now are going to work with. So it's like, don't be so sad about it, you know. Don't think that it's random, or like you chose it, you chose to work with it in this lifetime. It's kind of like a, I don't know if you can call it a gift, but it's like working material. You got your working material. I don't know, maybe something about earth. Like you said, it's, Rosa said, it's like earthy energy. It's like, this what you got, these are the seeds of what you got, and now you're gonna like work with it and transform it, maybe.
Yeah, it sucks, but we did agree to it.
Yep.
Why sometimes going back, the reasons are like, what? Why? Oh, seriously, why? Like that doesn't make sense, but it happened. So that's kind of the thing of not being victims, even though we've been victims. But yeah, it's yeah.
So I want to thank you guys for doing this together. And I don't know, I really love this project. This is so interesting, like discovering the world through different energies. Do you guys have anything to add before we finish this video?
I love you, and it was loads of fun. I appreciate you for setting this up and all the work you're doing and videos and everything else. That's it.
I love
I
you.
agree. I love you guys, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and it's very enjoyable. So it's kind of needed today. So I liked it.
Yeah, thanks to you guys too. I mean, this project wouldn't have been as fun alone, seriously, because this is really crazy how everything falls into pieces. There's so much connection. It's just really amazing. Thank you guys so much. And for those of you who watched this video till the end, thank you so much for watching it till the end. Of course, please, if you also know the energy of Uruz, if you want to connect to it, please do, and write what you got in the comments, because it's very interesting to see other people's perception of Uruz. And please like and subscribe if you want to see more of our content coming out. And we'll see you at the next video with the third rune. Thank you.
Bye.